Hey y'all, welcome back to the third welcome back to the third video in this series of videos I'm doing on how to get started homeschooling. I'm giving you bite-sized, actionable steps to take in getting started and getting prepared to homeschool. So if you haven't already, go back and watch video 1 and video 2, steps 1 and 2, before you continue watching this one. And then whenever you've completed those, or if you already completed them, then let's get started on step 3. Kind of a 2 scenario step here, okay? So the first scenario I'm going to take you through is that your children have never been to school and you have never homeschooled, is to research educational approaches that are out there. So what does that mean? First of all, you're going to want to understand your child's learning style. This understanding can be done just by observing them in their play, or whenever you're teaching them something just throughout the day. Are they a visual learner? Do they take things in through pictures better when you're explaining a topic to them? Or are they more of a kinesthetic learner where they need to feel the things, they need to manipulate the things? Are they more tactile in how they process things? Or are they good with just grasping it through your verbal communications and how you explain it? Are they auditory in how they learn what you are giving to them? So understanding those ways that your child will learn will help you choose curriculum in the future. Next thing in understanding these educational approaches to homeschooling would be to research the different homeschooling styles and methods that are out there. Now, I have a playlist already for you that me and a bunch of other moms went through and shared specifically on a certain homeschool style or method. So some of those methods that you could be researching are the the Charlotte Mason approach, or the classical education approach. There's eclectic, there's Montessori, there's online schooling, there is relaxed schooling, and there's unit studies. So there are many different ways of homeschooling your children. And so go through, and the link will be for this playlist down in the description box below. Watch those videos and just kind of get an overview, an idea of the different kind of homeschooling styles and methods out there, and consider which one might speak to you more than another one, just on the surface of it. You're not going to know right away, never having homeschooled before, what your specific style is. Sometimes it takes just experience and getting into it and living it out to really hone that. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to fit yourself into one box specifically. You can like a bunch of aspects from every one of the homeschooling styles, and you can pull them all together in an eclectic way. So just watch those videos and consider which ones you lean more towards to, and then do a little bit more research on each of the styles that you are most inclined to, and then go from there. And so that would be scenario 1, never having had any kind of homeschooling experience, or your children never having had any public school experience at all. Now, the second scenario would be you've never homeschooled and your children have never homeschooled, but they've also been in public school and you are actually taking them out. So instead of starting at understanding your child's learning style, like scenario 1, the first thing that you would do would be to take some time for you and your children to do what's called Deschool. And what that is basically it's a transitional phase where you and your children are throwing off the mindset of public school. Your children have been going to public school for some time now, and you're in that mindset of the teacher's doing all of the work, they're coming home with homework, they have their routine there, you have your routine at home or at work or wherever the case may be. And then you have your own thoughts about public school as well. They sit in a class, they sit at a desk, they have a certain amount of time for this lesson and this subject. This deschooling process is throwing off all of those preconceived notions that you and that your children have about schooling, because for them, they're going to experience a complete change in their way of life when you take them out of school and put them into homeschooling. And so both you and your children need time to adjust to this new way of learning. And so that would be the first thing that you would do. And so how do you de-school? You've taken them out of school, maybe before the school year is over, or maybe you're going to do it at the end of the school year. So they've just finished a school year and now they're on summer mode and you're on summer mode, but you don't intend to take them back to school and they know that they're not going back to school. So how would you start the process of de-schooling? The first thing that I would suggest is you want to start getting into the mindset of, we're going to be schooling at home. This is our educational environment, and it's a completely different thing than public school. You don't have to get a desk. You don't have to set up a schedule that follows the public school schedule. You are free to make your own choices and conduct your school in your own way, and it doesn't have to look anything like the public school. So just understand that it's going to take some time to adjust. A general and loose kind of guide for how long it takes to de-school has been, I've heard out there, that it would take 1 month for every year your child has been in school. So if your child has been at the public school for 3 years, then it would take them 3 months to kind of de-school. Or likewise, if they've been in school for 6 years, 6 months would be the de-schooling process. But what's so great about homeschooling is that you have the flexibility and freedom to speed things up or slow things down or start whenever you're ready, so to speak. And so it's just, de-schooling is just kind of this natural thing where you let go of all of the public school notions that you have and create your own homeschool and your own environment the way you see fit. And so as a parent, you have to let go of what you believe to be true about the public school system, and your kids have to let go of their expectations of their day, because it's not going to look anything like that now that they're not in the public school setting anymore. In de-schooling, you want to slow down and you want to give it time. It's definitely not going to be a quick 1 week and we're done de-schooling and now we can jump into schooling. Maybe not even 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe, and 6 months at most, I think, is a reasonable time frame. But I wouldn't worry about getting too behind in schooling either. Now, if you have certain state requirements that you have to meet, so say, for example, that your state wants you to start homeschooling August 1st, and it has to be that date, but you're only in your second week of de-schooling for whatever reason. So you want to give it a little bit more time to de-school. So you could start doing some sort of maybe unit study or a read aloud, and that could be your schooling, and you could count attendance for that. You can keep record of the book that you read and call it good there. It would also help you then to have your support community and the people that you talk to maybe at the beginning of your homeschooling journey in video 1, building up that community of other homeschoolers. Lean on them and have them help you get through this transitional phase of de-schooling. So while you're in this transitional phase of de-schooling, this is when you will then want to consider and try to understand your child's learning style. So they've been at the public school this whole time and you haven't seen them learn and grasp what the teacher is saying. You haven't been there to see how they are learning. And so you're going to want to take some time, sit down with them, and just spend time with them and see and discern, and of course, ask the Lord. You're going to be praying throughout this whole journey. What is their learning style? How do they best pick up new material and understand it? And that will help you in the future making your curriculum choices. So in this process of de-schooling, while you're doing that, you're going to be considering and evaluating your child's learning style. And then you are also going to be doing your research on the homeschooling styles and methods and making your decisions on how best to homeschool your children based on their learning style. Certain homeschooling styles line up with certain learning styles, and sometimes they don't, and it still works out. So it's just a really fluid, flexible thing that you have to be willing to work through and in and be comfortable with it. So That is the second scenario. So just to recap, step 3, if you are never having homeschooled and your kids have never been in public school, is to research the educational approaches. First, start with your children and their learning styles, and then you're going to research the homeschooling styles and methods that are out there and choose one or a few that you are most interested in or seem to most fit you and your family and how y'all do life, and then research those further. If in scenario 2, you have never homeschooled, you've been working, you've been sending your children to school, you're taking them out, and they've never been in the homeschool environment, they've only ever been exposed to public school education, then you're going to want to first deschool and give it some time and know that it's going to be a big adjustment for both you and them, and so give yourself a lot of grace in that adjustment period. And then you will also pay attention to their learning styles, and then from there you will also do your research on the different homeschooling styles and methods and choose the one that best fits you and your family. So that is step 3 in this homeschooling, how to get started homeschooling series. I hope you enjoyed it and it helped you and you get started on your to-dos, and I will see you in the next video.